And I think now it's going to let us go live. I have been running all over my house looking for headphones because suddenly this program would not work with my regular computer speakers, even though it has worked every single other time. And I am using my 12-year-old's broken headphones that even if I wanted to untangle this and put both sides in my ear, it's broken and I can't.
How did that even happen?
He is really good at breaking headphones because the other set of headphones that I have right here is also his. And as you can see, they're bent at an odd angle, so I could not plug them into the computer. And so that is that situation. So that's why we're late. It's kids, man.
Kids, man.
Kids, man. Oh yeah, I've been watching Community, the show.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
It reminded me that I have a little bit of a Joel McHale thing.
Which is?
That
I
I
haven't
like
seen
him
that
a
show.
little.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, like, because I used to watch The Soup on E!
Right, yes.
Which was the reference, Kids Man. Chicks Man. Chicks Man.
Woo, feel
And
old.
so, no, I know. But then we started watching Community, and I sent that to you because he was dressed like a cowboy for Halloween in one of the episodes, and I was like, oh, it's very, like, it's one of those things where I was like, I thought he was good looking, and then like the whole thing on the show is that like he's in really good shape, and sometimes he takes his shirt off, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's like actually a thing, and dressed like a cowboy. So, anyway, so that is actually, this whole thing is like emblematic of release day. People are always like, I hope you do something to celebrate, and it's like, no.
You put in a janky headphone.
You do. You put in a janky headphone. You have a piece of leftover pudding cake on a paper plate that you made for yourself on Mother's Day, and grab your unicorn cup, and that's the day.
And that's the day.
That is the day.
I'm fighting with my Facebook here. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I've
got
it.
I'm sitting in a throughway in my house, and there are going to be people walking behind me. There's nothing that can be done about that. There's a child in the doorway. There you go.
There he is.
You can't turn the TV on, though.
Where's the plug-in headphones?
Where's the plug-in headphones? I have them.
Where?
In my ear. Yeah. So, here, these are yours.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to?
What the?
I don't know, man.
It's broken.
I didn't do it. He's like, you were the last one to have them.
You're handing me broken
I
headphones.
know. He's like, what the heck, Mom? So, I thought you were gonna hang out in your room. I guess he's hanging out with me. I feel like The Rock, but the building behind me is not my garage or gym or whatever that was in his video.
Or fake facade,
his
yeah.
fake facade of his, like, place.
Truly amazing mansion.
Yeah, I assume. He has, like, there was a great video, if you guys saw it, of The Rock trying to make, see you later, man. Or of The Rock trying to make a drink while his daughter was, like, helping. And then my family watched that, and my husband was like, oh, we should have done one for Mom, like how to make a drink. And my oldest son, who's 14, that's my middle son, that's wandering around back there. My oldest son was like, yeah, like to make Mom a Mother's Day drink, you open up a can of Diet Coke, and then you get another can of Diet Coke. He's not wrong.
Very simple.
It is true. It's my jam. So, I guess we were going to talk about, like, relationships or something, because I have a book out that's about relationships and marriage.
Perhaps you should talk a little bit about your book.
I could do that. Or I could eat cake. But, so I do. I have a book out today, and, like, all of you on this page probably know that. It's called Secrets from a Happy Marriage, and it is my first women's fiction book, and if you are looking for it in the store, I feel like trade is super uneven at Walmart. Like, I don't know, they don't all have a lot of it. So, like, I know here where I live, there's like one store that has it, rather than like the 5 that normally would. And then also, it's not in Target yet. I mentioned this on my Gold Valley, my Copper Ridge page, and it will be in Target, but it won't be there for about a month. So you could order it from any of those places, and you can like add it for pickup, even though it won't be same day, like at Walmart. Like you could add it for like a 2-day pickup or whatever. But that's just like to help you out if you were like wanting to go get it. Like don't go to Target to get it, like because it's not there right now. But you can order it from any of those places online. It's available. There's also like bookshop.org. It's in Fred Meyer, I guess, and Kroger, and a few other places. I'm not used to trade paperback, so I'm getting used to like the way they do it and the places that it is, and I'm not like up on all that. Like they're like, well, you know what with the bookstores being closed, and I'm like, bookstores? Don't people buy books at Walmart? Like, I guess people buy these fancy books in bookstores. I hear.
But Barnes and Noble would have it.
Yeah, Barnes and Noble, and
Probably Books A Million.
yes. Thank you for reminding me of Books A Million. We don't have those, so I always forget them.
We have one very far away.
Yeah, we have one Barnes and Noble. So yeah, and I have, if you guys are doing online ordering, I did sign like 4 copies at Rebel Heart, and they're there already. And as our bookstores are actually opening at the end of the week, so those will be being sent out, and they're orderable and all of that. So yeah, there are many ways and places to get a physical copy of the book. Like ordering it online doesn't mean that it has to be an ebook. And I love the back of the book because that is actually, I'm always
Yeah, there you go, right there.
Yeah, that is actually the real lighthouse that I stayed at while I was writing the book. That's the real Hasidah Bed and Breakfast Lighthouse, which is this really, really beautiful spot in Yahats?
That is absolutely, none of those are how I would have thought they were pronounced at all.
Yeah, I think well, I've heard it both ways. That actually, Letterkenny, the way that they all pronounce Quebec differently cracks me up, because I was like, that is like, everybody has that kind of place, like where everyone says it different, and I feel like Yahats is one of those. And then there's one, Yaquina or Yakina, depending on who you ask. That's like there too. And so yeah, it's a lot of like names that there is grand debate over like how you actually say it. But which is why I think I named the town in this book like Sunset Bay. So we don't have debate over pronunciations, because like really a lot of the places on the Oregon coast have names that are kind of hard to pronounce. And yeah, so yeah, that's out, and that is probably the most elaborate amount of research I've ever done for a book. But it was just like staying at a bed and breakfast by myself and eating food.
I mean, if that's the kind of research there is,
like beyond
it
Google.
feels doable.
That's awesome. The first one of your books I bought was from a hardware/home improvement store, Menards.
I didn't know Menards had books. I don't really go there that often.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a Home Depot.
Oh.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it has more than that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been in a Menards, but we do have them.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know they had books, though. I wonder if they still do.
Yeah, I wonder. I always think, like, I always love the little, like, regional differences everywhere, because it's very interesting to me, because I find, like, I don't know, I just think the things that you think are really normal, like putting saltine crackers in your salad, but that's not normal. You find out.
Is that a regional thing? I thought that was just a you thing.
Oh, no, that was just a my family thing. That was just my mom not spending money on croutons thing.
Yeah.
I was like, but salad bars have croutons, or have saltines. So.
Crackers, yeah.
Oh, it's like a Home Depot. I found your books there. Well, there you go.
I had no idea.
That's
crazy. We have Menards.
Well, now you have to go to a Menards in like 5 months.
Right. I'll just send my husband.
There you go. He'll go.
He'll go. He'll look at books.
He always goes and takes.
He's a good book looker.
He is. He is very good at that. He's probably the most reliable, like book release, like photo taker of not only anyone's husband, but maybe all of us.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
He's very into it.
He is very into it.
Very into it. He's already looked at your rankings, Macy.
sounds about right.
What do you guys?
Yeah. He's supportive.
Name brand milk for 97 cents. Maybe I do need to go to Menards.
Will they have milk and books and like Home Depot stuff?
I suppose so. I had no idea.
That just sounds like a full-on general store.
Sounds like a Walmart.
Mm-hmm. Although, like, yeah, I guess Walmart has like lumber and stuff, depending.
Depending on the Walmart, yeah. I mean, though Menards is not close to my house, considering everything else that's closer. But now I'm intrigued.
I know. That is quite intriguing. I'm a Target shopper myself, and but the problem with Target is that, like, I mean, I feel like it does not have the variety that like a Walmart does.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm a little bit fancy and I like a deal. And that's who Target's for.
I mean, Targets tend to be a little nicer. But some Walmarts, we actually have a really nice Walmart here.
We have like one that's really nice, actually. It's all hardware stuff and then a small section of grocery. I'm fascinated. I had no idea.
Well, the next time you come, we'll go to Menards.
Woohoo! So, like, sightseeing sorted. I will let Megan know immediately that that's where we're headed next time.
Oh,
Although,
man.
honestly, like, we went to Walmart last time because Megan had a book out.
Yeah.
So we
were
like,
very out there Walmart because we were not anywhere near a Walmart.
We were in a strange. Where were we?
We were in Pere Marquette State Park,
which is in the state park. I was just thinking about that because, like, we've been looking at, like, because we're building a house. It was a remodel. It's really not. They, like, knocked the whole thing down. So we're just, like, in too deep. But, yeah, and I was looking at, like, pictures of living rooms and things, and there was one that was, like, really lodgy, and I was like, that's, I mean, a little themed for a house, but, like, it was reminding me of Pere Marquette State Park, and, like, fireplaces you could, like, throw someone into if they made you mad.
I dig it. It's my aesthetic right there.
I was going to say, currently, I imagine so.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. So, I was going to say, like, just to, like, lead any topic of discussion, because, again, we were very indecisive. We just figured we would jump on and see what happened. Sometimes that's
how we roll.
Sometimes not.
Sometimes we end up spending 10 minutes talking about Menards.
But it's organic. Look, you can't, I mean...
You can't plan that.
You can't find this kind of quality content
anywhere
else on the internet. Who else?
Literally anywhere else.
Spent 10 minutes talking about Menards today.
My dad says don't forget science at 12:30.
Oh, you have science at 12:30? Dad did not tell me that. Can you log into your science while you have to do it right here, and I'll move. I'm going to have to move because apparently there's science at 12:30.
This is also content you can't get anywhere else.
No, it is. And it's like legitimately, this is the situation right now.
This is what's happening.
This is what is happening.
Oh no! It's my dad! It's my dad!
Well, then let him FaceTime you. What in the world is going on?
Oh man!
Why don't you log into your video there, dude? Let me move this so that we don't break it. Go ahead and log into your class. Well, this is, I mean, it's kind of perfect because, you know, we were, hi, honey. Now you're on Facebook Live on a FaceTime video. While, our son is trying to log into class. So, yeah, and my poor husband, who hasn't left the house in I don't know how long, had a chiropractor appointment today. And I was like, it's only my release day, Haven. Gosh. But, like, yeah, go get your back taken care of, so.
Secrets from a happy marriage.
It is secrets from a happy marriage. Actually, that was my joke, like, secret from a happy marriage. My room is a mess, guys. I wasn't ready to do a video in here. Here we are. Here we are. This is authentically real. This is what's
I'm
happening.
just impressed that we made it like 2 months.
We
with
did.
Very,
we made it
like
2 months. I'm going to close my closet. Good Lord. Good Lord. I am going to a Zoom birthday rave tonight. And so I was actually digging in my closet. Luann's reading Rebel Cowboy. That's better conversation than my closet.
Oh, yeah. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. I think Rebel Cowboy is a good book.
That was my very first single title.
Awesome.
Many moons
left
ago.
my coffee out there. I'm not going back for it.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm not doing it. I think
It's a casualty.
It's a casualty of
Today.
Yeah, I love that okay, so it took this long for that to happen. And I feel like this is what's happening to everybody, because suddenly I'm seeing a lot of, like, actual, like, celebrities, like, with their kids. And I'm like, this is how long it took. For everybody to get so relaxed that they hadn't, like, yelled at their family to the point of, like, fear that they wouldn't come in. I'm frankly surprised your boys have never crashed one.
Well, so you know what my boys do during these?
Do they play video games?
They play video games.
Yeah.
They could... I think the house could catch on fire and they would still sit there like...
Well, that's what he was doing, because I was letting him flake on school, but I didn't know he had a live class today. He did a live math class at like 9:30, and then I was like, "Oh, you can go to your room with a soda. Don't tell Dad I let you do that, because he's not allowed to take drinks in his room." So. Well, yeah, so Secrets from a Happy Marriage, I was joking about that on my Instagram stories a couple weeks ago, because, like, my husband was doing burpees on the deck, and I was eating Cheez-Its. And I was like, the secret to a happy marriage is everybody doing, like, what makes them happy.
Yeah.
You live your truth. I don't have to do burpees with him. I support his right to do burpees.
You know, very early in our marriage, we... belonged to I wouldn't call it a gym, where there's like a rec center.
Oh, yeah.
And we would go work out together. And about 15 minutes in, I'm done. Like, that's enough exercise for me. And he wants to be there for like 2 hours. So it took us a couple months to finally just admit that this was not going to work out, because I cannot walk around a gym for 2 hours.
Well, you know the story of, like, our first actual date is that we went for a hike. I think most places have, like, a table rock, like a flat top kind of rock. So we went for a hike on this mountain called Table Rock, and I gave up, like, a quarter of the way in, and he had to carry me on his back the rest of the way up to the top of the mountain, and he still wanted to date me after that. And he knew what he was getting into. He knew what he was getting into. I'm like, I do not have, like, you guys can see, you've now been on live videos with me for a couple months. I don't really have, like, this is what you get. So, yeah, I was like, you knew what you were getting into. You married me anyway. That may have been said to him this morning when he was complaining about the way that I did not clean out my dishes. I'm like, I don't understand why. 15 years, honey. 15 years next week. You knew.
I have actually lived with my husband for, I guess, 14 years. And still. Well, we've also lived in this house for like 12 years, and he still doesn't know where certain things go. Doesn't know where they go.
We're in, like, a hell of that right now, though, because, like, the house that we're in is, like, not, it's a rental. So we actually have only lived here for a few months, and no one has come to a consensus on where things go yet. So, like, I put some things away over here, and, like, he's putting it here, and we're going, where are the measuring cups? And no one knows. Like, it's just, so it's like a parody of that. Because we had a little of that, because our house, before we knocked it over, we had lived in for 8 years. So, you know, a long time in one spot. But yeah, I think we learned really early on that like there's just like he used to want to run with me and all that kind of stuff, and he is the kind of person that he'll not run for a year, and then he'll be like, I'm gonna go for a run, and he'll run for like 7 miles.
Yeah.
And be annoyed because like he wasn't immediately as fast as he was, the last time he ran a year ago or whatever. And I'm like, I've never in my life ran 7 miles. Like,
nor do I ever plan to.
No, I have made it a third of the way through Couch to 5K about 5 times. And that I think is about where I'm that's my peak.
Yeah.
That for me is pretty impressive. I'm like, I can run for 2 minutes at a time if I build up to it slowly.
Yeah, I mean, I did it once and did not finish and have never gone back.
Yeah. No,
but my husband is also very athletic.
Yes.
Exercise driven.
I mean, they're different than each other, but there are some things.
They have some similar
ways that they are quite similar. Yeah.
I can't remember what it was yesterday. I was saying something to my husband about you, and he's like, "Oh, it sounds just like me." And it's like they are a weird combination of similar, but also then like each other.
Well, it's true actually, because I am a little like your husband in some ways, but I have always thought that actually most of my best friendships, they have like that friend has been a little like my husband and I have been a little like theirs, because it's like those are dynamics that work.
It makes sense.
My like lifelong. Oh, this is a great time to tell this story because it's just a good story and it's not my story, but because you guys know that my husband and I used to work together at a coffee shop at church, and that's kind of how we got together. We're not the only couple to come from that coffee shop. My lifelong best friend, who I've known since I was born, and her husband, who was actually my first crush in kindergarten, also got together working at that coffee shop. So he was my very first crush, and I used to tell him that I wanted to marry him and we were going to be paleontologists because I really like dinosaurs and I really like dinosaur bones. I still really like dinosaur bones. If I go to a museum and there's a dinosaur skeleton, I make my Disneyland face. Nicole knows what that is. So I get really excited about dinosaur bones. But I am like actually not sciencey at all, so there was no way that was ever going to work. I just want to look at like animal bones. So anyway, I think she used to, so my friend is a dressage rider. She has done that since we were kids. She won the state championship for dressage against adults when she was like 8 years old. She's an amazing rider. She has been for years. She trains horses. She rides other people's horses. That's what she does. And she was giving lessons to his brother, and he would drive him like happily, and his mom was always like, yeah, I see what's happening. I don't think you're just being helpful. I think you like the way the trainer looks in her breeches. I think that's what's happening. And he was always like, no. And so we all worked together at this coffee place, and I get like, as the story has been retold, my friend's husband and another friend of ours, another coworker, were kind of down in the lower, like the coffee shop was like dual level. There was like a little stand way down some stairs that people at the church would like walk up to. And then there was the main coffee shop was like way up a hill, up some stairs. And they were down in this, in the little like kiosk. And he was kind of staring after her as she was like carrying supplies up and down the stairs, I guess. And our friend goes, I will bet you $100 that you marry that girl. And he was like, okay, like easy $100, because like talk about out of my league was really the way that he felt about it. Like he was just like, that's never going to happen. And really like she was really popular and kind of like blonde and very like, she was kind of out of my league. Like if we hadn't been friends since we were really young, we probably wouldn't have been friends at that point. And he is to this day a very charming redneck who is not like a... You know, like to him, like a nice pair of Carhartts is dressing up. So, you know, different baseball hat. He actually always does wear a hat while he drives, like a leather cowboy hat. So he's always been like this. And so yeah, it's very opposites, because she's a dressage rider. She's not like a Western rider. You know, she's like a fancy horse person. And so he was kind of like, yeah, no, that's never gonna happen. And well, like, anyway, they ended up dating. A year later, they got engaged. And at that other time, our coworker was living in Hawaii. And he